What's good? So today I just watched this new documentary on Netflix. Netflix just drops things sometimes, so I thought it was kind of interesting. So decided to check it out. It was about an hour and a half. It was called Unknown Number: The High School Catfish. Kind of interesting, actually. The tone of this documentary feels a lot like 13 Reasons Why. It's a lot from the perspective of the teenagers and the people at the school, the parents, the principal, and some officers. So what this documentary is about a young girl and her boyfriend. They're probably like early teens. They're in high school and randomly start getting some text messages, some pretty hateful text messages from an unknown number. And at first they try to brush it off, but after a while it elevates to a point that they can't ignore it and start talking to the parents and the school about it. This documentary was kind of interesting. I liked it, but I also felt like they sort of dragged out a very small thing. Like at a certain point, I was like, just reveal who it is. You can kind of tell from the beginning that they end up finding the person. This isn't a documentary where like there's no conclusion. They find out who it is, and I'll say who it is as we get later into this. But first, I just want to say I thought it was a good documentary. The thing with this documentary is I felt like it was interesting, but at the same time, once we get the reveal on who's doing it, I was just shocked. I was like, "What? Like, why?" I was even confused, and I thought there was going to be this other layer of another person. Now, I'll say what the reveal is and who it is now. So if you didn't watch it already, go watch it or skip or whatever. So it's revealed that Lauren, the young girl, had been receiving text messages from her mom from an unknown number. And the mom had just gone down this rabbit hole of like continuing to harass her and the people around her. And it was crazy. At first, when she's confronted, she's saying, "Yeah, I didn't start it. I just continued it." And as that continues to investigate this thing, it gets weirder and weirder because I'm like, what does she mean by that? I thought the dad had something to do with it, or somebody else had started it, or there was like a reason for it. The conclusion that the documentary gives you at the end was that the mom had been dealing with some issues, some mental issues, and some past trauma. And I guess the way that they phrased this is in a way that this was her way of keeping her daughter close to her by harassing her. It is crazy. Yeah, this was messed up. I was even confused on what would be a proper punishment for the mom. It was like pretty savage and pretty relentless, and yeah, it's just such a confusing case. And in the end, it feels like the daughter still felt like she needed that comfort from her mom even after that, and had a good relationship with her. Besides the fact, yeah, it was kind of bonkers. The mom was a liar, and even to the point of her reveal of her past trauma, it's hard to even know if like that's true because she lied about so many things. So I don't know. I take it with a grain of salt, but I did like the documentary, and I did feel like it brought us into the minds of everybody in the case, and even the mom. But it did feel kind of clout chasey. Like if like there's a scene where they do this like weird close up of the mom, and she walks towards the camera, and I was surprised. Like, wait, if she's like the offender, like why is she going along with this? Like, why is she doing the reenactments and everything? And I think it continued the narrative that the mom was sort of like self-centered or wanted attention. So it's weird when you make a documentary about somebody who commits a crime because they want attention, and then you give them that attention. I don't know. In this world, if she was maybe more charismatic, she probably would have just became a huge star and been on like reality shows and cashed out. So I don't know. Like, documentary was interesting. I felt like it could have been half the runtime to tell that story. I like that they are using the creepy voice. Netflix has done this in a few documentaries where it's really creepy, especially with all the weird like sexual conversations and the cursing and everything. It was just like it was pretty creepy. It felt like a horror movie. All in all, this documentary, I would rate it like I'll say like a 7 out of 10 as far as telling the story that it did. I felt like it offered a lot of perspectives. I really like that nowadays we get like police footage. There's like a whole scene where you see when the cop really gets the warrant and confronts her, and you just see her story break apart so quickly. And I've like never really seen somebody just cop out to a crime so quickly once they found out they were got, and how she continued to like sort of comfort her daughter through it, and then her daughter sort of started hugging her back. It was kind of strange, man. It's a real victim reaction. Like that's something that we don't get from movies, is that real reaction to how people really react. You think somebody would be disgusted or scared or angry. The father was angry the way I would be, but at the same time the daughter was almost like, I couldn't tell if she even could have saw that coming. We don't know. Maybe there's something deeper to that story, but all in all, it was interesting. I think a lot of people would enjoy watching this one. The documentary does a great job of really heightening the emotions on this one, to the point that you forget that nobody's really physically hurt. It's a lot of harassment, which is terrible, especially to a young kid. But the tone of it felt like it was getting really, really, really dark. It kind of ended on like I don't say like a happy note, but an okay note. The mom's doing about a year in prison. She's already out at this point, and the daughter wants to still be cool with her. Some of the other kids are not happy about what the mom did, but they shouldn't be. And yeah, it's good to see stories of people from middle America. You know, we forget about, the regular people. So, all right. See you guys. Thanks for watching.